Donald Trump is set to unveil new proposals centered around his plan for child care in a speech tonight near Philadelphia. He is expected to detail new policies that lower child care costs for American families, policies that were crafted in part by his daughter Ivanka, who spoke on this issue at the Republican National Convention. With me now from Washington is Executive Vice President at the Center for American Progress Action Fund, Carmel Martin. Carmel is also a former Assistant Secretary in the Department of Education and an advisor to the Clinton campaign on child care policy. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so Trump plans to unveil 6 weeks of paid maternity leave in the speech tonight. Hillary Clinton has promised up to 12 weeks. Do you think that Donald Trump's plan goes far enough?
It's not a real plan. His plan has no new money attached to it. He says he would find some money from an existing unemployment insurance program, which is already cash-strapped and not fully funded. So he's giving lip service to the issues, but these proposals aren't real proposals. They wouldn't provide what working families need. His tax plans would, once again, provide great benefit to high-income families like his family. I can see how these proposals would help Ivanka Trump, but they wouldn't help your average working American family.
Well, he says that he's also going to propose new federal subsidies for child care, including these tax deductions for child care expenses and rebates for lower-income households.
He gives lip service to those goals. $1,200 for a low-income family, whereas a wealthy family, unlimited amount of income, somebody like his family making 6-7 figures a year, they could sock away in a tax haven unlimited amounts of money for private schools and nannies and tutors, and do that tax-free. But for people at the lower end of the income spectrum, they would have to put up front, put the money together to be able to pay for child care, which families are struggling to do. They just can't afford to do it. And then they could get at the end of the year a measly $1,200 tax rebate, while high-income families can get much, much more than that. Under his tax deduction proposal, somebody making $500,000 a year would get more than 2.5 times the benefit than a middle-class family making $60,000 a year. So his proposals, at their heart, again, I think they're just cloaked attempts to get high-income family greater tax benefits and not really deliver for working families what they need in terms of paid leave or in terms of child care.
Carmel, Trump's daughter Ivanka helped to craft his child care proposals. Is there any concern within Democratic circles about how she could help Donald Trump with female voters? He's been struggling with them, especially in battleground states like Pennsylvania.
I mean, that's obviously what he's trying to do. I think American women, American families are going to see through these proposals, and when they see who the real beneficiaries of these proposals are, and that it's not going to really get them the help they need, I think they're going to see through that attempt. It's not surprising he doesn't want to be the face of these proposals, given the derogatory things he said about women in the workplace. In terms of when he talked about childcare previously, he said, "Oh, businesses can handle it. They can just put some blocks and a swing set in the facility, and that's enough. That's what children need." He claimed credit for a child care program that his own company provided, and it turned out it was a program not for his workers but for people who went to his resorts. So I can understand why he's trying to put a different face in front of these proposals, but I think people are going to look at the facts behind the proposals and realize that they're really not what American women, working women, what American families need to be able to stay in the workplace and support their families effectively.
And yet, Carmel, when you look at the proposal from Mrs. Clinton, she's proposed to limit child care costs, as you said, to 10% of a family's income, but she really hasn't offered a whole lot of details on that. When can we expect that?
I think you'll see those coming out very soon. I mean, at its heart, what her proposal is to say we need to help the families that are struggling the most. So she's formulated her proposal around making the cost affordable to low-income to middle-income families. The way Donald Trump has formulated his proposals is to benefit the people who make the most money, because he's done it in a way that allows people who have a lot of resources already to get tax benefits without really delivering anything something real to middle-income families, low-income families, who are the ones who are really struggling with these issues and who are the engine behind our economy. If we don't help middle-class families be able to afford things like childcare and be able to stay in the workforce and help drive productivity in America, the economy is going to suffer, not just those families.
All right, voters will certainly be looking forward to Mrs. Clinton's proposals. Carmel Martin in Washington, we thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.